AI, so artificial intelligence, I think, is a catch-all, right? Different fields sort of look at it differently. It's become a very high-level sort of term that could mean any number of things. It can mean vision software, right, that helps with self-driving cars, robotics. It could mean all of these things. And so I think it's an overloaded term, but that's fine.
Artificial intelligence essentially is trying to create knowledge that humans either can't create yet, or maybe they could, but don't have all the time, resources, and capacity in the world to do it 24/7 the way that machines can.
Technologies that use automation and prediction based on algorithmic learning to operate.
My name is Marzia Gassimi, and I have a few titles. I am currently a postdoctoral fellow at MIT in the computer science department. I am also a visiting researcher across the street at Verily, which is housed with Google, and I will be moving to the University of Toronto as a computer science professor affiliated with the Vector Institute.
I'm Maya Majumder. I'm a PhD candidate here at the Institute for Data Systems and Society. I'm actually just about to finish. This is my last semester. And in addition to my work here at MIT, I am also a computational epidemiology fellow at HealthMap, which is a lab based out of Boston Children's Hospital and Harvard Medical School.
My name is Hallie Benjamin, and my title is Senior Strategist for Policy and Enforcement on Google's Ethical Machine Learning team.
What's so cool about AI and all of the kind of building blocks that underlie AI, whether it be data science, data mining, machine learning, basic statistics, and then ultimately the basis of it all, probability. I think all of these methods have a lot of value that they can contribute to these large socio-technical problems, and we're just really starting to broach that, to move away from just using these methods in industry and moving towards using these methods for the greater good.
We don't really know the limits yet of what AI will be able to do. I think that the ability to augment human decision-making and the way that we've done things in the past is a really interesting opportunity, and it's exciting. I think that the prospect of being able to use AI to help eliminate and address human inconsistencies, biases, things like this is really appealing. I don't think we've figured out how to do that yet, so I think currently the use of AI is just exploratory. It's helping us really understand new ways of doing things faster with more precision and helping us see patterns that we may not have been able to see before.
One of the biggest problems with AI is, again, the types of data that we are almost mandated to use for the methods that we use in AI. By almost default, for machine learning and AI especially, we need very, very large data sets.
Without data, you don't have machine learning and you don't have artificial intelligence. The ability to build a model that makes predictions and understands and sort of finds patterns requires that it have data to make those decisions about, right? So the role for data and machine learning, specifically with a lens for inclusion and bias, I think that we know that a lot of the times there are many different ways that our data sets can be biased. And in the way that we use data to build machine learning algorithms, the processes that we use can also be biased as well. So in terms of what data we choose to use, what data we think is important, often is a reflection of biases that we hold as people. My work is really focused on algorithmic bias and the ways that technology reinforces or augments biases that we either see or don't see in society today. Also, the way that we train machine learning with, annotating data and labeling it and helping the machine learn often also reflects biases that we hold.
The signal that you use to train these algorithms is based on what your users do. So there is a very famous example by a woman at Microsoft Research And she said if you go to a search engine and you look for CEO and you look at images, it'll be all white men. It's not because somebody at a search office said, I think the rule I have is that when you search CEO, show this kind of picture. It's because people clicked on those pictures when they searched for that word.
If we don't recognize that the data that we feed into the technology is based on previous bias that humans held when they would think about maybe a female sounding name might be less strong of a candidate for this job, or maybe this person had different types of hobbies that we don't think are suitable for the type of professional we're looking for, that all of these characteristics about people often lead us to make unfair snap decisions about them as people, that we don't even recognize we're doing. And so I think that when we bake those into AI, we see the same types of flaws.
What is challenging is that no matter how much internet penetration or even cell phone use there is around the world or smartphone use there is around the world, you're going to have groups of people that just don't like using these devices, that they might have the internet, they might even have a smartphone, but they hate using it. And these folks are going to get left out. If you're not capturing every single bit of the population, you're not really doing your job correctly. And this is perhaps the biggest barrier and maybe my biggest concern, because I think that this does lead to injustice.
I think that some of the biggest flaws that we're seeing are really just the fact that humans are the ones who develop these technologies, and that the flaws, calling it a flaw can be, I think, hard for people to process, but the limitations and some of the gaps or some of the opportunities to grow are really reflective of what the limitations and the flaws that we have as people. Our goal is to help educate them and create more awareness of some of the ethical and bias considerations that go into building technology that uses AI and ML. To me, what I see are just massive opportunities for us to take both the technologies that we've already built that use artificial intelligence and those that are being incubated today, and with a view of being really excited about the future, where we start to see where there are gaps in what we have and what is needed so that AI technologies work for everyone. So AI and inclusion, it's like, how can we make sure that every part of the population is able to use AI as intended?